Today I'm with Chief Duvall and Deputy Chief Powell at our annual Police Night Out. So first of all, can you talk a little bit about what this event hopes to accomplish in the community?
Absolutely. National Night Out is a cornerstone event for not only police, but here in Takoma Park. It's traditionally the night where police and the community come together as partners. It's a great opportunity for our neighbors to get to know not only me, but all of our officers and all of our staff members. We have just about every staff member here in Takoma Park tonight. I remember this event when I was a kid. So it's a tremendous opportunity, not only here in Takoma Park, but across the country, to have an interactive dialogue. As you can see, we have a moon bounce, we have a dunk tank, we have food. So if you're watching this and you want to come out, please come out. It's a great event. I'd also like to welcome our new Deputy Chief. This is Deputy Chief Powell's first opportunity to have National Night Out with us here in Takoma Park. He's from Riverdale Park Police, and we're glad to have him.
Very, very, very glad to be here. It's a great event, a great way for the community to see us not just as officers, but actually as individuals and people just like them, all working for the same thing.
And what are some other events and programs that you try to run throughout the year to promote community outreach?
That's a great question. We have multiple events throughout the year. We have Coffee with a Cop events throughout the year, which is really important. It's an opportunity for our residents to meet the officers that actually work in their affected area. We also have Breakfast with Santa, which was a great hit this year. So we have those events that we have reoccurring, but we also have our homework club, which we have in a homework club where we help kids here at Piney Branch Elementary and Takoma Park Elementary School with their homework. It's a way to have a positive, nurturing environment for our kids. We also have an Explorers program for kids 14 to 20 that are interested in police work, and that's a great opportunity once again for us to interact with our youth in a positive way.
And then are there any services that the police department offers that you think the community might not know as much about and you'd like to promote?
Sure. I'll promote Deputy Chief Powell and allow him to speak up.
A lot of things that we do simply is be like a ride-along program. If somebody wants to know how the police actually operate, why we do what we do, a great thing to do is to come out and sign up and ride with one of our officers for a tour of duty and find out how the police interact with the residents and how the residents can better interact with the police, so we can have a mutual understanding of the best way to protect our community and solve some of the issues that we might face.
And so I've seen throughout the summer you've been doing Slurpee Justice. Do you care to explain that?
Absolutely. That's a great program in coordination with 7-Eleven. And 7-Eleven has been a great partner to us. The new 7-Eleven at New Hampshire and East West actually allowed us to have a drop-in station. So we have an office there where officers can go there and do reports and drop in and be an active participant in that business. But the Slurpee program is a great program where we give away free Slurpees to kids in the city of Takoma Park. I can't tell you how many times I've seen children with huge smiles on their faces. There's something about a Slurpee, and if it's free, that kids just love. So it's a great way for us to once again bond with kids in a positive way.
Great. Thank you so much for your time, both
Thank
of you.
you.
I'm here with Tom Hucker, our county council member who represents Takoma Park.
Right.
And so, why do you think it's important to have events like this night out, especially given the recent shootings in other states?
Oh, for sure. I mean, events like this, regardless of the recent the events like over the weekend, I mean, they're just critical to effective policing and to building community. You know, effective communities don't happen by themselves. They don't happen by accident. They happen because of hundreds of events like this that strengthen the bonds between people and between the community and the police. You're much less likely to call the police when you see something going down if you have no relationship with them. And you're much more likely to call if you think, oh, these are people I know, I've interacted with them at my school or my daycare center or my neighborhood like this. And you know, it's not a big deal to pick up the phone and say, hey, somebody's breaking in that car, or there's somebody walking down the street and I want to do what I can to report things. We always need victims to come forward and witnesses especially to come forward to keep the community safe. And that all begins with events like this, where you can meet the police in a sort of fun and non-threatening environment. Not just events like National Night Out. It's great that there's hundreds of events like this all over the country and dozens in Montgomery County. But the fact that our Takoma Park police are in our school system, in our child care, that they check on disabled and senior citizens that can't get out of their apartments, that they're working with the city council all the time and community associations, and they're part of the fabric of the community, that's what really matters to build a strong bond and ultimately to keep the community safe.
And so why is it important to you as a county council person to be here for events like this?
Oh, well, I want to be supportive of the police and I want to be supportive of the community. And so there's hundreds of events like this all over the country. There's dozens in Montgomery County. I'm going to try and get to about 12 events like this tonight. But it's really important to, to just be visible and to support issues like this and events like this, because there's not enough of them. And people want to know who their council members are, they want to know who their police are, and they want to know how to find us when something goes wrong. It's the old saying, the time to make a friend isn't when you need a friend. You want to make a friend ahead of time so you can just pick up the phone and find them. That's true of your elected officials and it's true of the police as well.
So what's your favorite part of this event?
I mean, there's a whole lot of it. It's, my son's over here playing hockey for the first time in his life because he just walked up and felt comfortable doing that. There's other people doing face painting and getting something to eat and on the moon bounce, and even dunking Chief Duvall in the dunk tank over here. So if you see the police chief not as some kind of threat, but as somebody that you can throw a ball at and get them all wet, I mean, that's much more likely to be the way you want a police community to feel, that, people that are on your side and people that you can reach out to if something bad's going down in the community.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks for being here. You bet.
Everybody, it's going to be just plain hot out there. So stay cool in your abode and keep your eyes on the road when you're traveling. Hey, celebrate this weekend a lot.
Every year, almost 40 children die of heat stroke after being forgotten in a vehicle. In 70-degree weather, it takes only minutes for the inside of a car to heat up like an oven. At 104 degrees, heat stroke begins, followed by loss of consciousness.
Yeah. Should go an hour and a half or so.
Leave without your child. Live without them forever. Look before you lock. Brought to you by Kids in Cars.
Nothing hurts my mom, that she showed anyway. She'd always say, you do what you need to do to take care of yourself. But she thought that meant she had to do it on her own. We were trained to help others, but there's strength in finding help for yourself too. We're in this together. Even the toughest of us might not know where to go to get a little support.
Encourage women who have served to learn more about the VA care and benefits they've earned. The VA Women Veterans Call Center connects veterans with personalized information on VA services that can make a difference. Call 1-855-VA-WOMEN or visit www.womenshealth.va.gov.
I'm here with Pat Lovelace, our Takoma Park Peace Delegate at the National Night Out. And so what does this event mean to the community and to you?
I think we need these events a lot more than we have in them because of all these guns. We've got to do something about guns and get sensible gun control. We just had 2 shootings already, one in Texas. I think 22 people died, and one in Dayton, Ohio. I think it was 7 or 8 that died, I'm not sure. But we're having more and more these shootings, and they were both done one day after the other. And it's really tragic. There's more guns on our city streets than there are human beings. Over 300 million guns. And we've lost more kids to our streets than we lost in the entire Iraq war and Afghanistan wars combined. So what's that going to show us? You don't have to go overseas to fight a war. The war has come home to the hood. And we've got to do something about it. We've got to be aware of who we vote for our president and our Congress and our Senate. We really got to start taking care of our own people. If you see people with guns, we're not supposed to have them, report it to your local police. Matter of fact, I'd like to see a bounty put out on guns. If you can turn a gun in, you get $100 or $200. I'd like to see that. This country has a way of doing it, they can do it. That's how you get them off the street.
And how do you think events like this can help with that?
People get a chance to get out and talk with their police officers, talk with each other, and get the word out. We've got to do something to stop this violence. This country has worshipped violence too long. And we're reaping our fruits of it. It's the problem now. We just have to do it. It's not whether we want to do it or not, we have to do it. I think everybody, family, parent in the country should look in their child's eye and say, have I done enough to stop this gun violence and this killing? And I imagine you'll probably come out and say, no, I haven't done enough. So anyway, we got to do what we can do to wake this country up, and this is a good way to start.
And do you mind explaining quickly just what your title of peace delegate means?
That means I represent the city of Takoma Park, and wherever I go with the peace sign, I represent the city of Takoma Park, and I give them updates and stuff on what's going on. I've been doing this for many years now. For almost 40 years I've been a peace activist. Lost 6 fingers out of it and everything, and 2 eyes.
And so do you feel that it's important for you as the peace delegate to be at events like this and to attend
Yes,
them?
I do. And I'd also ask people if they can help me get to city council meetings on Wednesday nights after the recess. Because I had no transportation to get down there now. If somebody could come over and help me get down to the meeting, I'd really appreciate that. Also, I've been doing this peace activism for years. I walked down from Maine to Washington by way of New York, 1982, and I've been doing this kind of stuff ever since. Yep. We're going to continue doing it too. Even though I almost got killed in a demonstration, a civil rights demonstration in Georgia. Ku Klux Klan got me with the bricks in the hands when I was carrying a big peace sign. Gangrene set in, and I lost 6 fingers out of it, and I lost my eyesight to it. And I haven't given up yet, so if I can do it, anybody can do it. Everybody should get out there and vote responsibly. Please vote responsibly. Look up the issues, look up the candidates, and decide to the best of your ability what you want for this country. Maybe you should discuss these things with your kids and see what they say. I'm damn sure your kids will love you even more if you did stuff to work toward nonviolence.
I'm here at the National Night Out with former Takoma Park Fire Department Chief Jim Jarboe. So first, can you talk about what the night out means to you and to the fire department?
Well, I think it's an ideal time for all to get together, the community, the police department, fire department, and to get out to the public. We draw them in to have fun, entertain, and do things like that, and also a chance to educate on fire safety and et cetera.
So this isn't your first one?
No, I've done it several years. I can't remember how many, but I guess every year they've done it, I've probably been here.
And what's your favorite part of the event?
Well, I could say the food, but no, I won't. No, I think it's just working with the people, all the people, city people, rec department, public works, of course, police, and all that. And then doing the public education, seeing the kids and educating them and do, fire safety and whatever.
So what specifically are you trying to emphasize with kids tonight about safety?
Well, the thing is, there's a lot of things, but I think one of the big things, because all this heat, is it's really for the parents, and what that would be is when you leave your car, everybody goes with you.
Yes.
with all the children across the country have died in hot cars. So I'm going to do some of that, and I'm going to play games over here where I'll ask questions, what telephone number you would call in event of emergency. Once you're out of the house, you shouldn't do this. So these will be questions in order for them to win a prize or get a fire helmet. You know, they got to answer questions.
And so for those games, do you really emphasize the learning, yeah?
Yeah, right. I think the games, somebody will see a prize, and how can I get that prize, or how can I play the game? Before you do that, you got to answer some questions. You got to. It's the same thing. If you want a helmet, before I give you a helmet, I'm going to ask you a fire safety question. So I've got a Plinko game, and I got some various games to play, and you know, it might entertain and say, well, I like to do that and win a prize. Before you play the game, answer some questions.
And so what are the other games you've got? You've got the Plinko game?
Well, if you look over here, I got the Plinko game, and I got some of these where I'll have 4 cups, and I'll have a tennis ball in one of them, shuffle them around, and then when they answer a question, they'll put a chip in front of it. It's some of the things that they do on The Price is Right.
All right.
I kind of copy from them. Low key, no money, no cars, just little prizes.
All right. Thank you so much for
You're
your time.
very welcome. Thank you.
How is this event important to the Montgomery College?
We are in the transition process of becoming a police department, so we're trying to get out into our community more, explain what we do at the college in the public safety field, and we want to meet our community.
And so for people who don't know, what's the difference between a public safety office and a police department?
We are security basically right now, just at the college. We are planning on trying to become a special police department where we have law enforcement powers only on our campus, maybe eventually transitioning to a full service police department in the future.
So what kind of things do you do on the MC campus now?
Right now we patrol the campus, look for any unsafe hazards, any criminal activity. We also assist students with general questions. So, yeah.
And so what are you promoting tonight? You're talking about your department, but are you recruiting?
We are currently looking for part-time public safety officers. We encourage people to go online to Montgomery College's website, montgomerycollege.edu, and go to the job announcements. And on there, I believe currently there's a ad for public safety tip.
And what kind of credentials does someone need if they're interested?
Just a high school diploma, got to be 18 years old, and just a clean criminal background.
Okay. Yep. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
The right to play on any playing field, you have earned it. The right to hold a job, you have earned it. The right to study in any school, you have earned it. The right to be anyone's neighbor, you have earned it. You have taught us that what matters is not power or politics, weapons or wealth. What truly counts is the courageous spirit and the generous heart. The days of separation and segregation are over.
Trees are one thing we can all agree on, cleaning the air we breathe, the water we need, and making our climate livable. Fires and natural disasters devastate our forests. We're working to replant millions of trees across the country. Visit arborday.org and see how you can help.
Minds can achieve anything. We make sure they get to college. Federal student aid provides more than $150 billion in grants, loans, and work-study funds to make college possible for anyone with the mind to get there. Because if given the chance, minds will do great things. Federal Student Aid, proud sponsor of the American Mind. Learn more about money for college at studentaid.gov.
I'm here with Buddy Daniels, a long-standing Takoma Park resident at the National Night Out. So how many years have you been coming to this?
I think as many years as it's been going on. I want to say 20. I could be wrong. You get old, your memory fades. But certainly probably since the late 90s, early 2000s. I've always enjoyed this. My sister and I, Kate Daniels Cohen, used to volunteer here at the emergency preparedness table. And it's quite enjoyable what's going on, to say the least.
And so how many of those years would you say you were a volunteer?
Probably 10 at least, maybe 15 over the years.
And what were you trying to promote and give the community more information about with
At first it was for the Public Safety Committee back in the early 2000s, late 1990s, again if my memory is serving me. And we promoted certainly safety practices, where, in other words, things like don't walk home alone from the metro, be very proactive when it comes to personal safety. And then later on, with the start of the Emergency Preparedness Committee started in 2004, so the first one we did was probably 2005. We promoted emergency preparedness education, emergency preparedness activities and practices, and gave out information from FEMA, Montgomery County, emergency preparedness preparation, promoted the CERT activities, the CERT procedures, and CERT stands for Certified Emergency Rescue Training. They're volunteers that assist the police and the firemen, firewomen in the community.
So can you give me an example of like what the CERT preparedness is? Like what's a piece of advice from them?
I sure can. What I've always tell people, it's a 26-hour course. What CERT teaches you is what not to do in an emergency, all right? You do learn first aid, CPR. You do learn very light volunteer rescue. You do how to work with the fire department and the police department in certain situations, how to do a search and rescue. But more importantly, for me, it was going out and educating the community, going to the different community organizations, talking about emergency preparedness, talking about the preparations you should take, talking about where you can find the information, because even 20 years ago, 15 years ago, there was so much information available, it was almost stifling, but that's a good thing. So we tried to narrow it down where people could digest it. Now, on the internet, you can find all kinds of information. But the Takoma Park, I'm a consultant now to the Takoma Park Emergency Preparedness and a volunteer. So we're trying to do the same things, to educate the community, work with the community any way we can about emergency preparedness.
And what's your favorite part of the night out?
My favorite part of the night out, honestly, was working at the emergency preparedness table with our emergency preparedness coordinator, Ron Hardy, handing out information. And also when the park police brought their gorgeous animals in here, their horses, which was a cross between a Clydesdale and I'm not sure which, but stood about 18 hands high, going over and talking to the horse, which most people will not find odd for me. But yeah, a lot of fun.
All right, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Hi, I'm here with Pat Rumbaugh, the Play Lady and the co-founder of Let's Play America. And so first, if we can just talk about what the play days that you run are and that kind of community building.
Well, we run a couple of different play events. We hold annual play days, one in September, February, and then we have an adult play day in June. We also close streets to play, so if you live in the neighborhood or in the community and you want to have your street closed for play, contact us. And then we also join already organized events like the one where we are right now, National Night Out. And it's a great way to get people active and involved and having a good time at the event by just playing.
So how do you think playing is important to building and supporting a community?
Well, people of all backgrounds, all ages, all abilities can play together. It doesn't matter your age, where you're from. If you see a ball, you see floor hockey set up or mini tennis, doesn't matter the activity, you don't even have to speak the language. All you have to do is speak play.
And so why do you think it's important to have that kind of community building here at a community outreach event for the police?
Well, the police are doing a great service by offering this wonderful free picnic to the community. And, you know, we could all sit around and talk and get to know the police, but now you actually get to play with the police, and that's an extra bonus.
And so what's your favorite part of the National Night Out?
Oh, favorite part? Well, I would like to see the chief get dunked.
I'm here with Ron Hardy, the City of Takoma Park's Emergency Preparedness Manager. And so what are you really trying to do tonight at the National Night Out?
Just talk to the people that are here to attending the event, talk to them about emergency preparedness for weather events, the extreme heat, the extreme cold, the flash floods, and any other severe weather.
And what have you been trying to emphasize tonight, especially because we're in August?
The extreme heat with what we've had recently. Stay cool, stay hydrated. If you can, stay inside where it's air conditioning. If you can't, limit your outdoor activities so that you can stay in the shade and get a little rest period every hour. The flash floods we had about a month ago, you know, turn around, don't drown. And particularly pay attention to the weather reports.
And so how do you think a platform like this event gives you the chance to communicate with members of the community you might not be able to?
Well, it draws a very diverse crowd and a lot of kids. And, you know, we focus on through the kids to reach the parents. So if we can engage the parents through the kids, we can get a lot of information out through them. The kids practices every, you know, year in school, so we got to get the parents on board to practice as well.
As this is your 5th night out, what's your favorite part?
This being my 5th year here, I really like engaging with the people, you know, talking about emergency preparedness, just watching the kids have fun.
All right, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, and you have a great night.
You too.